Hey everybody, Skeetz here. In this video I'll be showing you guys how to create the most efficient macros suitable to your playstyle. In this guide I will be covering focus macros, modifier macros, and arena 1, 2, 3 macros. I will be breaking down the tutorial and showing you how to write these macros and then showing you what they do. Hello everybody, I'm going to start today's tutorial off with focus macros and how to write them. Now focus macros are pretty easy. Now you can see I have a lot of macros and these are just random ones where, you know, I've tried out ones. So this is my Mashable stealth button, but I'll get into that later. I'm going to press new. We're going to go kick. Focus kick button. And what you do is you could do hash key, show, tooltip, kick. Now what that does is if you mouse over it will show you your tooltip and it won't really do anything, and the show part is so you don't have to choose the icon, so that's pretty handy. And if you don't want the tooltip and you just want the show, just type show kick. That's all you have to do. Now we'll go down and we'll type in /cast. Now /cast is to use any spells. If you want to use trinkets it's /use. So we'll go /cast, and there's two ways of doing this. You can do square bracket target equals focus close bracket kick. Now what that does, if you press that, it will only kick your focus and it won't kick your current target. So that's all it does, is that macro is only for your focus. You can also do @focus, and there's other ones you can do. You can also do @mouse over. Or you can do a specific player, but specific player won't really help. So that's how you do focus ones. Now let's get into modifiers. I personally use a lot of modifiers. Now what modifiers do is, you can see this is my kick macro, and what it does, it says hash key show tooltip kick /cast no modifier kick, and then in the second line it's /cast square bracket modifier colon is the two dots, so I'll write this out for you guys. /cast close bracket modifier colon, it's those ones, not the ones with the comma, just the two dots, shift, or you can have alt, and then it's comma space target equals focus close bracket kick. Now what that will do is, if I hold what I just wrote, if I hold alt and press, say that kick macro is on Q, if I press Q it will kick my current target, if I press alt Q it will kick my focus, or if I press shift Q it'll kick my focus. For this I'm going to use shift because I personally like shift. So I'm going to show you how this works, and I've reset all my keybinds for this tutorial to show you how this works. Now I'm going to quickly go bind this to mouse wheel down. Let's go mouse wheel down, and there you can see it's done to mouse wheel down. Now let's set this one to our focus and this one to my target. Now we're attacking this one, and that guy over there, this one, wants to cast something. So you want to kick him. Shift mouse wheel down. But it doesn't work. Why isn't it working? Well, that's a keybinding issue. You have, with focus modifiers, you have to make sure that shift mouse wheel down or shift 1 or any of those keybindings aren't keybinded. So what you want to do is you want to go in there and find shift mouse wheel down, unbind the key, press OK. Now let's try this again. We're attacking this guy, and that guy wants to cast a spell, and you want to kick him. Shift mouse wheel down. You kicked him. That's it. That's a modifier macro. Now, let's try arena 1, 2, 3 macros. Now these are a bit more complicated, but they work. Let's make it shiv. So we want to do show, tooltip is optional, shiv. So I don't have a macro for shiv, but what we want to do is /cast at, or you can do target equals. I like at because it's smaller. At arena 1 shiv slash. So what that will do, or you can have kick. You can have kick arena 1. Let's do kick instead of shiv. So what this does is on your arena nameplates, you will see on the top right hand side of the screen is you will see the top arena player, the second arena player, and the third. Now if you slash kick arena 1, it will kick the person at the top. Arena 2 will do the second one. Arena 3 will do the other one. Now this is really good if you have a DK. You can do chains of ice and do arena 1, 2, 3, and that way you can easily swap chains around to do peels or do anything. Or even as a rogue, you can use deadly throw arena 1, 2, 3 just to try and get some peels and put a crippling poison on someone. Now I'm going to do arena 1, 2, 3 in macros. So slash cast target equals arena 1. We'll do kick. Now let's use modifiers as well. Slash cast modifier shift comma space target equal arena 2 close bracket kick slash cast modifier colon shift comma target equals arena 3. Now that macro right there will kick every single person in a 3v3 match. So if you just press it normally, it will kick the top guy. If you hold shift, it will kick arena 2, and if you hold alt, it will kick arena 3. So that's how you do arena 1, 2, 3 macros. I'm going to give you guys some of my personal favorite macros from each one of my characters. This one is a personal favorite of mine when I play my rogue, and I'm going to give you a couple from each actually. This one is my shadow step focus kick macro. Now what this does is, if you don't, I have it normally bound to 6, and when I press 6 it will shadow step my current target. If I hold shift 6, it will shadow step and kick. So if you have focus set to a healer, you can press this and hold shift and it will shadow step to your focus target and then it will kick them. That macro is really handy for getting some pressure out and some pretty clutchy and pretty cool kicks. I've got another one here. This is my Tricks of the Trade macro. Tricks of the Trade basically increases the damage done by your teammates by 15%, so that one's really handy if you want to get some pressure out. Use tricks whenever you can. Another one I've got, this one is a modifier macro, but what it does is if I press F, it will recuperate. If I press shift F, it will slice and dice, which is pretty handy. Now another one I've got is Mashable Stealth. Now what Mashable Stealth does is I can spam it and it won't pull me out of stealth. And it's the same for other spells. These ones are ones that you mash and they can have a chance to break or pull out, and that's what the exclamation mark is for. So it's mashable. It only casts it once. On my priest, I don't have quite as many macros, but still all the same I have some macros. Much like Mashable Stealth, I have Mashable Shadow Form. I have my stop casting. This one is so if I'm in mid cast, it will stop casting and it will do psychic horror on my target. If not, if I hold shift, it'll do my focus. I have Shadow Fiend. What this one does is it casts my Shadow Fiend when I'm not channeling Mindflay, and it will summon him. It will put my pet on aggressive, so if a target dies, it will automatically go and give me more mana. It automatically casts Shadow Crawl and pet attacks my current target. So what it does, as soon as I summon it, it does a Shadow Crawl, which is like a Shadow Step, and it's on him straight away. I have Mass Dispel. This one's also Mashable Mass Dispel, so it doesn't cancel the cast. It does a stop casting one, so if I'm in mid cast and I need a quick Mass Dispel, it will get me my Mass Dispel. I have Dispersion. If I hold Alt in my Dispersion, it will cancel dispersion just in case you just need it to survive, or you're pretty well on mana. Sometimes you don't really need to use it, but sometimes it can be really handy if you have your teammate gets the target down to like 10% and you need a Shadow Word Death to get the kill. There's my Shadow Word Death one. It's pretty much the same. No modifier, does my my main one, and if I hold shift it does my focus. It's just the shift one is sometimes just to survive polymorphs and stuff like that. Now my DK has a little bit more complicated macros, and I'm going to do a separate guide on how to play Unholy. So I'll get into all these later. Well, into more depth later. This one's just my Chains of Ice one, and it does my focus. So it's really good if you want to get, if your teammate wants to put a CC on a Shaman and he has Grounding Totem down, you can snipe Grounding Totem with this macro. I have a Lichborn macro. Now what this one does is, as soon as I press it, it will cast Lichborn and use my Hellstone just to get HP back, and it will start casting Death Coils at myself, which is at player, or you can put at Love Coil, either one. It's really, that's your general surviving macro. Try not to blow Lichborn in this patch on Fear, it's really a waste. Unholy Frenzy. Now this is much like Tricks, but Unholy Frenzy does damage, so I have it set to my healer, so if he goes into a polymorph I can cast that and it will break him out of polymorph. That one was my Frost Death Knight pet sack, to sacrifice pet to get HP back. That one is only for Frost because your pet doesn't last forever, and that one is just so that your sacrifice doesn't get bugged. That one there is just /cast raise pet, and next time you press it, it will sacrifice. That's just your general Unholy sacrifice pet one. I have my Gargoyle macro, which basically uses my cooldowns, my lifeblood, and my trinket. So your Gargoyle scales off of your stats, so yeah, that's why that's in front. And as soon as you press it, your pet will follow you and your pet will attack. Now if your Gargoyle goes and attacks random ones, you can press the macro again and the pet will follow you and then attack what you're attacking. That's just to keep that at a bug. And my Dark Transformation one, this one basically it's mashable as well, /cast Dark Transformation. The exclamation mark isn't as usable, but right there you see /pet auto cast on Claw. Now what this one does, it turns on Claw so that when you dark transform your pet, your Claw does lots of damage and it uses up your energy. But now how do you turn this off? I have a macro there. This one, the reason why it's all blanked out is because I don't have a pet summon, but this one what it does is it gnaws your target and leaps. So if you don't have any modifiers, if you use a modifier, it will focus, it will leap at your focus and then gnaw him. And this one turns Claw autocast off. So what happens if you go to get a stun on someone, it will turn off the autocast so it doesn't use up the energy and you get a pet stun guaranteed. Thank you for watching my advanced macro guide tutorial. If you want to see more from me, head over to youtube.com/Skeetz Gaming, and remember to subscribe to DaraMactire, youtube.com/DaraMactire for more guides and best of PvP. And guys, as always, Skeetz here. Thanks for watching.